Hi, I'm JJ. Welcome back. It is another Tuesday, so this is Tag Tuesday again. And I know that we're in December, but this is the Nonfiction November tag with prompts. And this tag was created by Julie over at Bookish Travels, and I was tagged by Saracen Salute. I'm really excited about this tag, so Saracen, thank you for tagging me, and Julie, thank you for creating this tag. I had a lot of fun with these prompts. It was fun to think about. They were good questions, and I will share them with you. What motivated you to pick up your first nonfiction book, and can you remember it? I loved history ever since I was young. I had a teacher from third to fifth grade who did Civil War reenactments, and you could tell he loved history, so it made me love history. And ever since then, I've just been eager to learn. I love learning about other cultures, other religions. I love learning about people. Anything. And so one of the first books I can remember that made me really like that as a genre was I know I talked about this on a lot on some of my other videos, but Leap of Faith by Queen Noor. She is or was an American who married the King of Jordan, King Hussein, and so you get to learn about her trying to understand her new home, her new culture, and also be a queen. And it it was the first time that I was just fascinated by a story from somebody that I've never met before. And I've been fascinated by the country of Jordan ever since. I was so excited when I was younger that once I was talking to my grandma about this story, she said that she had two friends from Jordan, and she took me to a restaurant that one of them owned, and it was just the coolest thing. So it made me really love nonfiction. And a couple other ones along those lines are Angelina Jolie, the American actress. She also was a Goodwill ambassador, and she did a lot of traveling. And she did a book called Notes from Our Travels, working with people who were, disfigured or killed and lost people from landmines and a lot of different things. She worked a lot with refugees from numerous nations, and I really enjoyed learning about these people and these cultures that at that time I knew very little about. And another one was by Anderson Cooper, who is a American news anchor, and he wrote Dispatches from the Edge about some of his most famous stories, his favorite stories to talk about that he got to cover and stuff like that. And so the next one is, how do you choose your next nonfiction read? I usually go through whatever my current fixation is. A lot of times, though, I also am like obligated to if a book that I have is going to expire. So if I rented it from the library, a lot of times I'm putting it on hold, and I have to wait months for it to become available. And then as soon as it does, don't know when it will be, but when it does, I have to read it. So kind of have to be in the mood for that one, whether I am or not. And then another thing is, now that I'm on BookTube, trying to make it through some of the events, and that kind of alters my reading a little bit. But otherwise, I have some go-tos that I always enjoy reading about. I'm always going to love history. I'm always going to love reading about sports. I love the Tudor era and the prior to that, the War of the Roses. I love anything about Mary Queen of Scots, Catherine de' Medici. I love ancient Rome. I like learning about the Reformation and other religious studies. Uh, I and like I said, I love history. Uh, I am reading around the world, so I'm trying to not only read fiction books from authors from other countries, but once something fascinates me, a lot of them do historical fiction, talking about uh, things important in their country, in their culture, within their family, and it motivates me to then read further and find a nonfiction book about that country as well. Do you take notes or annotate your nonfiction books? I absolutely do, yes. If it's a physical book, I'm writing in the margins, I'm taking notes, I'm highlighting, I'm underlining, whatever. If it's a ebook, I'm highlighting. If it's audiobook, I'm taking notes. I have reading journals. And now that I have this, I take notes so that I can talk about it, kind of share my favorite or most interesting facts about the story. It helps me retain the information a lot better since I tend to read through things really quickly. And then number 4, do you have a nonfiction book that has changed your beliefs or assumptions? And once again, the first one I remember doing that is Leap of Faith by Queen Noor, because she was talking about learning the Middle Eastern politics and culture, and I had only heard the Western version of a lot of that history, a lot of those stories, and I just remember really realizing, as much as I loved history, how biased it is and how you have to take it with a grain of salt when you're reading about different cultures, because they want to make themselves look good. They want to, especially when you're reading American history, they're whitewashing a lot of things. They're trying to make things make us look better. They're trying to sweep some things under the rug, trying to erase things completely. History is written by the victors, so it is important to not believe everything you read, and to try to delve a little deeper and try to take different sides of the same event and stuff like that. And I learned that from reading that book, because it was the first time where what I was reading was not matching with what I had already been told. Number 5, how do you feel about the intersection of storytelling and factual content in nonfiction? So I enjoy narrative nonfiction. As a reader in general, I really love character-driven stuff. So if a book is dense and just factual, I have a hard time getting through it. It takes me a lot more time. I am slower with it. I just don't connect with it. If there is a through line, whether you're following a character, a generation, a multiple characters, as long as you're getting like the human essence of whatever you're talking about, I enjoy it much more than just stating the facts. I can't read or retain things that way if it's just factual based. I need some narrative within it. Number 6, is there a topic you wish authors would explore? I'm very specific here, but there are 2 that I would really like to learn more about or would like to explore. I wish people had more of it. I love sports and the intersection, especially for women's sports, between activism, politics, and just understanding how sports play a significant role in moving things forward. So in the United States, the WNBA in basketball, the league helped sway an election one year because they're one of the owners of the teams. I don't remember if it was the owner or like the chairwoman, was very racist, very homophobic, and just a not good person to be running a league that has so much intersectionality in it. And she was then running for a position and within the government, and they rallied and got her opponent elected by speaking out for him and getting behind this whole rock your vote type of thing. So it is really important to tell those stories. You see a lot of them with men's sports. I highlight a lot of them in some of my videos where you get to see the cultural impact, the world's impact on sports, and I really would like to see it given to women just as much, just like with women's soccer, their fight for equality, equal pay, and stuff like that. That's all stuff that's fascinated for me, and I would like to see more of it in writing and researched and storytelling. Another thing is I love the idea. I would like to explore or have people explore more compare and contrasting indigenous cultures. We get so much, especially being from the United States, I get so much from North America. And there's always, talk with Australian and, the indigenous to Australia or New Zealand, but you don't hear so much when it comes to indigenous communities and tribes and cultures within Russia, specifically in Siberia. And so I would like to read more about that, explore more about that. I would love to have somebody do a compare and contrast, because the ways that they were all treated was very similar. It's just interesting that nobody really talks about it, especially with the Russian experience, and seeing, colonization, seeing genocidal actions and all this stuff happen on a world scale, and yet only focusing on one aspect of it here in the United States. So I would really like to have an author explore more of that. Number 7, do you incorporate insights from nonfiction into your daily life? Yes, I do. I read a lot about people and places and cultures and experiences that are not at all like my own. And it helps me be more empathetic. It helps me understand people. And it helps me continue to thirst for knowledge and try to seek understanding. It makes me be aware that there might be more to a story, especially if it's media is pushing one story. To kind of look into that. Don't take things at face value. And another thing is I really enjoy Ryan Holiday's books. He writes a lot about Stoicism, and a lot of that is not only talking about very great figures in history, especially people that I've never heard of sometimes, or events from people that I know but haven't heard that specific story. I really love learning that, but he makes it he writes it in a way that is applicable to your everyday life by focusing on like the 4 cardinal virtues: discipline, wisdom. I am going to be so courage, and justice. So doing the right thing. So those 4 things are very applicable. I cannot talk today. I'm very tongue twisted. I'm sorry. And so I really enjoy that he gives you a way to use the information that he teaches. And then number 8 is choose one book from your nonfiction collection to highlight. And I am choosing a book because I did a recent book haul one, and I completely forgot to include this book with my nonfiction book haul, so I saved it for this prompt specifically. And it's called The Lady and the Peacock, The Life of Aung San Suu Kyi. Kaiwi. I wish I knew how to pronounce the last name. But I've been reading, not reading, but gathering the information to read more about Burma in the coming year. And this is her biography. She is an activist. She also won the Nobel Prize. And she fought against the oppression in Burma, which I know very little about. And she was imprisoned for a while under house arrest, and she finally was out of house arrest in 2010. And then in 2012, she was elected as one of the members of parliament. So she seems like a very fascinating person. But in addition to learning about her life, getting to understand the broader aspects of the oppression and the stuff that's going on in Burma that I'm not aware of is going to be interesting. And I just wanted to share this book so somebody else might be interested as well. Anyway, this was fun, and I enjoyed thinking of these answers and talking with you today. So once again, thank you, Saracen. I don't know if anyone else has any nonfiction. I don't know. I know Angelina doesn't read a lot of nonfiction, so I'm not going to tag her. But I know that Doug sometimes will do these prompts if he's inclined. So I kind of unofficially tag you, Doug, if you want to participate. Anyway, thank you and have a great day.